Hi, I'm Joy Macknight, Transaction Banking and Technology Editor at The Banker. And I'm here with Pascal Augé, who is the Head of Global Transaction and Payment Services at Societe Generale. Thank you, Pascal, so much for joining us here at Sibos in Singapore.
Thank you, it's a great pleasure.
What do you think are the hot topics this year?
If I were to sum up, I would say there are four main topics this year, which slightly differ from last year. The first one is innovation, digitalization, and the response to the new entrants in the payment space. I would say the second one, that's traditional, is security. It's security, safety of the payment side. The third one is regulation and compliance. We are all around the place discussing the same areas and the same topic, and we brought our compliance people this year on top. And the fourth one, obviously, is real-time payments and the impact it has on the industry as a whole.
Right. What do you think are the biggest disruptors, like technology disruptors, in the transaction banking and payment space?
I would say there are two disruptors. Technology is one. So it can work on the positive as well as the negative. We see a lot of new entrants, as I was saying, trying to address part of the value chain. Very few, if not any, are trying to encompass the whole value chain. But in some areas, they are attacking part of the revenue base, which is an interesting one, so we have to react. The second main disruptor is sometimes the regulator itself, because they want to open up the market so much that maybe in some cases they bring in some part of an imbalance. I have in mind, for example, the SP2, which the purpose of which is relatively positive from a consumer point of view for a start, but really may create imbalances in the industry, and more than that, maybe lead us to a situation where the service to the client may be, at the end, worse than it is currently.
And you touched on in your answer to the first question, but real-time payments is a really hot topic, I think.
Yeah,
what do you think are the challenges in Europe to move to what they call instant payments?
The challenges are manifold. As far as Europe is concerned, even if we went through SEPA to some form of integration, we are still dealing with many ACHs. Each ACH has its own real-time plan. It's not standardized. When we as a global bank need to address our client base across various countries, we would have to pile up costs in terms of adaptation to the various ACHs. So that's why we're using Sibos this year to try to federate the banking community. We've got a wonderful tool through SWIFT, which has worked well in a cooperative mode, setting standards. If we move to real time, this is maybe the best lever we could have to have something standardized, whereby we would not waste money all around the place. That's the first one. And second, on real time, we have to understand and to say what is the purpose of it. It's a valid point for retail. For wholesale, we're already there. Maybe the market and the regulator don't know it exactly. And that's why maybe we have to flag better what we already do for the clients in terms of real time, because we're almost there. Retail is another story. And the other story on retail is what about the business case behind? Because we would have to make a lot of investment on that side, but for no revenues, because I wouldn't believe the end customer would be ready to pay for additional, hour they would get the service.
And so the next question I have is really around how can transaction banks still be relevant to their clients?
I think there's a lot of relevance still for the customers, especially the large corporate customers, because more and more they go global. They want to have a service which is as integrated as possible, which is as digitalized as possible, totally fluid from one piece of the world to the other, and they need to have banks that can address their issues, accompany them in various geographies with as integrated a system as possible. That's where we enter into play. Sometimes in given regional clusters, sometimes global, but they need banks they can trust. And I think that has been the lessons they learned from the crisis of 2008, 2011, and even now. We see banks exiting these businesses, so they need banks that are committed to transaction banking, that accompany them both on a large regional scale and also over a long time.
Okay, great. So my last question is around Sibos next year. It's in Geneva. What do you think will be the hot topics then?
If I were joking, I would say, as we are in Switzerland, it will be all about compliance and regulation. But joke apart, I'm quite sure that will be a hot topic anyway, because I'll say compliance will remain on the agenda for the years to come. I guess we will be still speaking about real-time because I'm not sure that will evolve so quickly. And the third topic will again be innovation. We are all discussing, and you may have seen some of the discussion regarding new disruptive technologies, blockchain being top of the agenda. When I say blockchain, it's not cryptocurrencies, it's really blockchain as a technology. We all feel there's something to be done there. That won't be done in a year. So again, I think we'll discuss this topic again next year.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for your time, Pascal.
Thank you very much, Laurie.